All right, so this is a formal introduction. It is I. So it'll be my first YouTube video that I've done completely by myself. No, nobody like in the video other than me. This will be my Spider-Man Brand New Day review. Okay, there will be spoilers in this video, but I'm gonna try to drag it out a little bit and wait until like near the end. So just kind of talk about the relative plot, like kind of things going on, my thoughts on it, that kind of shit. But this is the formal introduction. As I said, it is I, your boy, Navon Key. So here we are. I went and watched Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, Tom, if you ever see this, okay, there might be a chance. We never know. The world's a large but small place. I hated your first two movies, bro. They were trash. I'm going to try not to cuss a lot on this because I know how YouTube is. I just got off of work, and I just thought, I was like, I really immediately got to get into this video. So, now, hear me out. When I say that his first two movies are trash, it's not me sugarcoating it. I genuinely thought they were garbage. Okay? They were cinematically good. I'm not going to necessarily take a dump on like the production. Soundtrack was pretty alright. Like there were scenes that were good, but I think it was overcome with scenes that were bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, TASM 2. So, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It wasn't a bad movie. But it wasn't as good as the first one. There was a big, like, I know on average in the comics, because I'm an advocate comic reader. I know that on average in the comics, Peter fights multiple villains at once. You can literally see the work shirt underneath. Should have changed, but I just came home and got straight to business, okay? So, hear me out when I say this. On average, Spider-Man fights multiple villains. That's how he works. That's just how, like, he's just in New York City, dolo, okay? Going up against people respectfully that shouldn't be taken out dolo. But Spider-Man does it because he's a real one, 100%. Spider-Man's one of my favorite characters. I'd say probably no lower than top 10, but top 5 for sure. Like, favorite Marvel comic book characters. Favorite Marvel characters in general. Low-key, Spider-Man might even make it in my top 5, like, fictional characters of all time. Like, I genuinely love Spider-Man. Okay, he's a great character. It's one of Stan Lee's favorites, and I understand why. But my problem with Tom Holland is that it's okay. Let me rephrase that. I have no problem with Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's a really cool guy from what I've seen. Obviously, I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met the nigga, but from what I've seen in interviews and like how he, interacts with people, he seemed like a really cool guy. So this is no disrespect to Tom. This is disrespect to the writers who decided to script him like that. Okay? We'll touch on it. First Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland in, I think it wasn't Far From Home, was it? Was it Homecoming? I don't remember what it was called. It don't matter, okay? The first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie was just so trash in so many ways. Everything that happened in that movie was directly Peter's fault. Was directly Spider-Man's fault, okay? He was just messing everything up. Now, hear me out. Spider-Man messes things up. I'm not saying that Spider-Man's perfect, that he always gets the job done the exact way he needs to. But at the same time, y'all probably heard that little ASMR. But at the same time, not to that extent. That ship did not need to be cut in half. That was completely Peter's fault. Okay? Basically what I'm saying is that his first movie was like Iron Man Jr. You see what I'm saying? Tony helped him build the suit. Tony helped him in everything in that movie. I don't respect that at all. Love Robert Downey Jr. Love him as Iron Man. Probably the best casted character for a comic book character ever, hands down. Like they really only ever needed one. You know, they weren't constantly recasting Iron Man constantly. You know what I'm saying? They only ever needed one, and that was Robert Downey. It was like he was born for that role because he acts like Tony Stark in real life. Like that's just how he is. So they did great with him, and I'm not mad at them putting Tony Stark in a movie with Spider-Man because they work together constantly in the comics. But Peter is literally in the top 10 echelon of smartest people, not in the Marvel comics, in the Marvel universe. So we're talking about people who are gods, people and he's always ranked at least no lower than probably top 10. Like Peter is incredibly intelligent. He created his own web fluid. He designed and made his suit. He created AI for his, like he did so much by himself because that's what Spider-Man's character arc is. It's like I got to do this by myself because I don't want people getting hurt. I don't want people to be involved in what I'm doing as Spider-Man because what I do is dangerous. And that trope has always been captured relatively like really well when it comes to Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man comics. Like that's normally how it goes. Like Andrew Garfield, he never really had help in his movies. Like, okay, yeah, Gwen helped him with the lizard serum or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. But on average, he's normally just doing it by himself. Same thing with Toby. Toby didn't really have any help. In that I think it was in Spider-Man 3, the same Raimi Spider-Man 3, Toby got help, a little bit of help from Green Goblin at the end of the movie. But on average, Spider-Man is a dolo character. Like he's not with the teams. Even in the comics, he had been asked to join the Avengers, asked to join this, that, and the third, and he's just like, nah, I'm cool. I don't do teams. Not that he hasn't been a part of them, because eventually, in a lot of continuities, he does eventually join them. Okay? You know, in Tom Holland's first Spider-Man movie, he was getting crushed under rubble. Yo, we know that Spider-Man can lift tons. Look at what he did in Spider-Man No Way Home. He had really good strength feats in that movie. In that movie, so he was just getting slimed out by just stupid stuff, bro. Just dumb stuff. Okay, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. That's not my Spider-Man. You see what I'm saying? It's not my Spider-Man. So for a long time, I was like, okay, Tom Holland is on record the worst Spider-Man. No matter how cool he is as a character, they're writing him to be a terrible Spider-Man. And I get it. People are like, "Oh, well, this is just Peter. You know, he's just now getting used to being Spider-Man." And I don't want to hear none of that, bro. None of that. Okay, miss me with all of that. I don't care. I don't care. It's Spider-Man. Since 16 years old, Peter been doing this. When in the comics did Peter ever go, "Iron Man, I need help"? Come on, bro. Stop, dude. 16 years old doing this dolo. And I mean avidly not wanting people to help him. He's like, "Nah, I got this. Don't worry." To the point to where he is being like people are like having to force upon him giving him help. Like they're just having to help him without his permission essentially. Like just going in. And even then, what does he do half the time? "Hey, bro, go home. Yeah, I don't need your help. I got this." Now, Tom Holland's third movie, wonderful. Finally, I was like, okay, he's starting to kind of like actively become Spider-Man. He's like, he could literally, that pause was my brain working. I ain't been asleep yet. But that's not an excuse because this needs to be put out there. It doesn't need to be, but I want to put it out there. So here we are. You know, finally in that movie, now it took him meeting the other Peters. And there was so much in that movie that was just so great in terms of the cinematography, in terms of the choreography. Like they did well, and the way that Toby, Andrew, and Tom like bounced off of one another. Pause. That sounded a lot less sus in my head. I said it out loud and I was like, nah, that's not it. The way that they were vibing with one another, how like each one of them had a different kind of like wit. Like there was like it was a different kind of banter that each one of them possessed, but they were all kind of the same at the same time because they're Spider-Man. Like just like the even with you know Tom and Andrew being like, yo, how do you do that? They're sitting there like having the conversation with Toby about his organic webs and stuff like that. Like there was a lot of good like chemistry in that movie. There was a lot of heart like warming moments and heartbreaking moments. Like the scene when MJ gets thrown off the building and Andrew saves her. And you can tell like in that moment that was like him saving Gwen. Cause he looked at her and he was like, "Are you okay?" You could see, like, it caused me to tear up. I was like, "Yo, this is legit." And then May dies. I would say spoiler warning, but this movie's been out for a brick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, watch it. I'm sorry if I might have spoiled it for a couple of people. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? The movie been out for a brick, but it happened nonetheless. Aunt May dies, and that's when Peter finally snaps, and he's like, "Okay, I need to lock in. I just lost someone important." But the thing is, the really weird dynamic I feel like with Tom's Spider-Man, and maybe I'm misremembering it, but they didn't really seem to have that like Uncle Ben with great power comes great responsibility kind of thing. They kind of put that all on May. I get it. She's like younger and stuff. Like, I wasn't mad at that because she's a beautiful woman, but it's like, I would have preferred it to be an old woman. And them have that dynamic with Ben because that's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man is that he's constantly like in a state of turmoil to the point to where like he's losing people around him. He's even losing himself, but he still pushes through it and is still a hero. Like he doesn't care in the sense of like he knows I've got to get something done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like guys, like hear me out on this. Like he like even in the Spider-Verse movies, it said even when they were sitting here, like, listen, we all have a catalyst. Like each one of us has a canon event that makes it to where this is what stepped us into being who we are. And it's like that is very important. That's a very important dynamic for Spider-Man, any Spider-Man. And it kind of sucks it took 3 movies for him to get that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It was like we didn't need this setup. We didn't need the setup. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We didn't need to see those 2 movies, him being the way. Like, I want to be honest. I'm not hating on him. It's not like I have. It's not like I've gone back and watched them recently. I'm just going off of memory for me watching these movies a while ago. Now, maybe I go back and I watch the movie and I'm like, oh, okay, I was wrong, but I don't think I am. You know what I'm saying? This is an opinion I've had since day one. I just did not like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I'm like, yo, he's weak. He's like lame. Cool suits. The suits were kind of mid. I'm gonna be honest. The Stark suit was kind of mid. His suits were just kind of mid. Okay, but we get to No Way Home. It was what I needed from Tom. Finally, we got that. The movie ends. Wonderful ending. Very depressing. Okay, very depressing. Now we start at Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay, I was hyped to see this movie. Me and the homie, we got our tickets. We got good seats. At first, I didn't think they were gonna be good seats because of the way that it looked on the set out. I was like, dude, I'm giving up a good seat to sit somewhere else when we could have sat here. I'm very like picky when it comes to movie seating. But he was like, I don't want to sit next to randoms. Me, I don't care. I'm not worried about nobody else in that movie but the movie when I'm watching a movie. Okay, I don't care who's next to me. So I can sit next to people I've never met in my life and it be cool because I'm never going to see these people again in my life once I leave this movie theater. Like, we don't know each other, so I have no need to be like nervous about it. But I'm a different person. I understand completely the anxiety of not wanting to sit next to people you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. So that's why I was like, yeah, it's cool. We'll swap tickets. And he ended up buying my ticket because I had to refund my ticket and switch seats. He was like, I got you. Don't even worry. So, we get to the parking lot, bro. We smoking, we chilling, and we go into the movie. We missed most of the previews because it's like, yeah. When I went and watched, because I had also recently watched Odyssey, I could probably do a review for that movie as well because that was also a really good movie. But that movie had Tom Holland in it. He played Odysseus' son, and he did that role phenomenal. Like Tom Holland's a good actor. Like I promise this is no hate towards Tom. I think he's a wonderful actor, but I didn't really like the first two movies, and I'll stand on that. I don't care. The first two movies were not good to me in comparison to Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Tobey's first two movies. Spider-Man 3 was kind of mid. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't the best movie, but it wasn't like bad in comparison to the first two that Tom had. So they really bring it home with No Way Home. I was finally like, okay, he's starting to become Spider-Man. Finally. Well, then he asked everybody, he asked Doctor Strange, he's like, listen, bro, I need you to. Essentially, how the ending of that movie went was like, he was like, yo, Strange, make everybody forget about me so that we don't have to worry about this. Because the concept of what was going on is that everybody that knew Peter Parker and knew his identity, so including all of his Venoms, all of his villains from canonical storylines, were going to come break into the dimension and just cause havoc. And when you got 100 rhinos running through the street in like 45 electros, you know what I'm saying? You got all these people who know who Peter is. You see what I'm saying? That would have been terrible. That would have not been great. Do I think they couldn't have solved it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's any different than like the Chitauri attacking New York. And they're trying to resort to nuking New York. What the bro? What? Whatever. Nonetheless, we ain't gonna get into that. I'm gonna end up going all over the place with that one. But anyways, the movie ends and it wraps everything up nice. I'm like, okay, finally, Tom is becoming Spider-Man, what he's supposed to be. Cool, we're rocking with that, right? So I hear about Spider-Man Brand New Day because obviously they're gonna come out with a new movie. Me and the homie, we go and watch it. Bam, we're sitting there, chilling. Movie comes on. They start getting to talking about Spider-Man, glazing them. W Glaze, by the way, because Spider-Man's a G, 100%, 150%. Spider-Man's a G. So like crime's gone down. Da 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 da. So basically, essentially, the basis of this movie was there was a person sending their mind into other people. You can tell that it's some kind of possession thing through the trailers. Well, I watched the trailer and I see that, okay, in my head, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, this is definitely some type of like telepathic thing. This is someone indirectly controlling other people via telepathy, is what I was thinking. Because the way that they sized it up, they had all the scenes with him in the hand, and, which kind of eluded me to believing that Daredevil was going to be in the movie. He wasn't. That's cool. Whatever. I mean, that's fine. It was just kind of crazy to me because it's like, okay, so you have Spider-Man taking care of the hand. Like, they say that verbatim in the movie. He's like, yeah, he even defeated the Hand Clan. So where was Matt at? What was he doing? What, was he on vacation or something? Like, I mean, was this a collaboration effort? We don't know. They just gave it to Spider-Man. Like, yeah, he's the one that took him out. Cool. Do I believe he did that? Absolutely. Fuck it. They're ninjas. Not Naruto ninjas, where these niggas are pulling out Biju bombs and Rasen shurikens. Not ninjas that can clone themselves into hundreds of themselves. Just regular, degular ninjas, okay? I'm gonna get hate for that. Oh, the clan or the hand are actually super tough. And here, I don't care, bro. I don't care. They're getting mobbed out by a blind guy. You're getting beat up by a dude whose superpower is echolocation. Y'all aren't worth a fuck. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, bro. I'm just being honest. There's no disrespect to Daredevil. Like, Daredevil's a dog. That's cool. He's a blind man. Think about it. Technically, he has no superpowers. He's a regular human being. He's just blind. He figured out how to make it work for himself. Now, yeah, he can basically see. Cool. He's blind. You are fully capable ninjas who have been trained your whole life to slime people out. You have vision. You can see him approaching you to beat you up. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What do we throw a concussion bomb at him? Walk up to him and be like, bow, smack him in the side of his. He's defeatable, is what I'm saying. Compared to Spider-Man, a literal superhuman with a sixth sense that allows him to just dodge anything. Basically, yeah, you guys are cooked. I mean, it makes sense he took him out. So I'm not mad at that. That was cool. I enjoyed that. Thought that was dope. But you see Punisher in the movie, right? Okay, cool. Where was Matt? That's one gripe I have with the movie. That's the only thing that I was kind of like. I feel like even if it was just like a cameo, like if they were just to show like a small snippet of him fighting with Daredevil to beat the Hand, because you got to think about it, bro. You just pulled up to Hell's Kitchen and just mobbed out the bad guys there. Where Daredevil was like, "Hey, you got it, little bro. Don't worry." No. If I was mad, I'd be like, listen, bro, I've been fighting these niggas my whole life, it feels like. There goes my controller. Like, bro, they have almost slimed me out multiple times. Like, I want my get back. I'm running my ones with them. Like, it's cool, help me. That's cool and all. But I need to be there. I guess Matt thought differently. Yeah, I don't need to be. Now, to be fair, Spider-Man's smart enough, he could have just figured out where they were, went to their hideout, and just slimed them all out and got them arrested. Spider-Man, on average, is fighting tens of 20s of people at a time on a lot. You just go play the Insomniac Spider-Man game. Okay? That's a canonical Spider-Man. Just go and play that game. He's fighting 15, 20 people at once. Weaving, dodging, beating them up, talking crap to them. Yeah, no, bro. No. So, it makes sense that he was able to do that. Now, I'm trying to think of all the problems I had with the movie. I had one more problem, okay? Spoiler warning. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to just kind of be able to skip through this. That's all you get, 5 seconds. I'm going straight into it. At the end of the movie, it's crazy that I'm starting with the end. So we all know that both Ned and MJ completely forgot about Spider-Man. Okay? Well, you know what? We're just going to open up the spoiler section right now. Okay? So we'll start with what the basis of the movie is. The big bad in the movie was damage control. And Jean Grey was kind of an op for a little bit. That's who we find out. Now, I don't think it's a major spoiler for me to be like, Jean Grey's in the movie, she was the big bad. We kind of, if you have comic book knowledge, you kind of already guessed who it was going to be, because first of all, they told us Sadie Sink was in the movie. Who else is she going to play? Speedball? No, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We know what was going to happen there. So she ends up playing Jean Grey. So Jean is doing all of this heinous stuff to find her sister. I don't think she's going about it in a great way. And I'll be honest, I was like, yo, I'm so sick of this story. No disrespect to Jean or her sister, okay? But I'm sick of the Dark Phoenix shit, bro. I'm so sick of Jean being an op. She's either a bad guy or getting a headache every time she uses her powers. Like, it's never an in-between. Make her a love interest, I get it. Make her the Dark Phoenix, I get it. I understand she's the conduit for the Phoenix Force, So I'm not saying take that away from her, but it's like, bro, I don't care about her being a villain anymore. I really don't. I don't, bro. We've seen it like 6 times. The X-Men movies, what was she? An op. In the X-Men TV show, the original, what did she end up becoming? An op. And they got their whole story arc of them. I'm just done with that, bro. I don't care to see that anymore. Just make her a good guy for once and just keep that as the story goes forward. They kind of did that. She started out as the op in the movie for the majority of the movie, and she eventually gets to the point to where Spider-Man kind of talk no jutsus her, low key, which is crazy because in Ned's room, you see a Naruto poster in the background, which to me was like a prelude to the fact that someone's getting talked out of being an op during this movie. Okay? And that's exactly what happened. He talked her out of it. He's like, listen, bro, I get it. You lonely. I get it. They did some foul stuff to your sister. I understand that. You don't got a sister no more. She's cooked in the ground. Done. Done so. That's messed up, bro. It's messed up. It is 100%. But hear me out. We all go through something. We all lose somebody. And they had this really beautiful scene where Aunt May is giving Peter a pep talk about she's like essentially telling him like, listen, bro, because you have powers, I want you to understand that life's gonna be it's gonna be rough. Like and he was like, I kinda already get that. He's like, I like trust me, I understand. And she was like, no, I really don't think you do. But she was like, you're gonna essentially like there's gonna be times when you're not gonna be able to save everybody. There's gonna be times when you have doubts from yourself. And she was like, I need you to know. She's like, you're a great person. I'm paraphrasing the absolute fuck out of what she said. This isn't even kind of. It's like it's the basis of what she was saying because I'm not gonna verbatim bar for bar say everything she said. But essentially, she was telling Peter, listen, things are gonna get rough, and I need you to understand that you need to believe in yourself always. Because people are not gonna mess with you because you're different, which is true. Look at J. Jonah Jameson, mass vigilante. This, that. Don't matter how many people he saves. He's always gonna look at him like, "Yo, you're impeding on people who get paid to do this. Like, leave it to the cops." Like, okay, bro, because the NYPD is supposed to be able to handle Rhino barreling through the streets, right? Yeah, because a regular blockade's gonna stop a man in a giant mech suit from getting through people who are using regular guns. No, bro. Are you good? Sorry, my dog back here tweaking, bro. But nonetheless, I digress. We need Spider-Man in the city. If you got supervillains popping up, spawning in, what is the NYPD gonna do? Not shit. Not shit. You get beat up completely every single time. Gonna get beat up. So yeah, let Spider-Man do his thing. So what I liked the most about this movie, and I know this is like ADHD at its finest because I'm just like, it's my first video, okay? I'm going to figure out the format of this kind of stuff, and we'll be able to be more precise with it because I literally just got home, started the video. Because, like, I want to just start going forward. Because I be thinking too much. Oh, well, I got it. Nah, bro. I be doing way too much. I don't need to do it. This is this easy. Set my phone up. I paid $20 for a mic to hope that I have better quality. Ain't even checked to see if it sounds good. We'll see. But am I editing this? No. We're just throwing it right on the channel. And I'll get better as time goes and I make more money and I can buy more cameras and stuff and I can do more with it. But anyways, I really enjoyed the fact that this movie focused heavy on Peter having to, because something that you notice a lot in the comic books is that Peter has a really hard time balancing Spider-Man and Peter Parker. In this movie, because nobody remembers who Peter is, he's only Spider-Man. Like, he's only focusing on being Spider-Man. And that, for me, hit a whole lot harder because It's the fact that we have finally gotten what it is that I've been asking from Tom. And that's be Spider-Man, bro. You need to really step into the griminess that is Spider-Man. Like, he's a bright colored character, so people don't really think about it on average. But yo, he has like hands down probably one of the worst lives in Marvel comics. Like, Peter's always getting hoed. He's always late on rent. He's always getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's never got bread. Every time he gets with the woman, they either die or something happens so that he can't actually be with the woman because he's Spider-Man and doing all the rest of this stuff. Like, he doesn't have a good life. And despite that, he is always doing everything in his power to ensure that people get to live theirs. Like, in the terms of, like, he's always saving people. He's always encouraging people that he's saving. Even when it comes to the villains, he's like, we really don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to be like this. And I appreciate that because, to me, Spider-Man is the only other character that I can think of that's similar is Captain America. Like, Spider-Man is the embodiment of what it means to be a hero, like a selfless hero who is here for other people. Because Peter doesn't care about himself, which is not a good quality. Because, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Peter, like, bro, you should care about yourself, bro. Like, you should care about who you are as a person. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, but I understand that in his head, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, I'm responsible for this city because I have the power to save it. So I'm going to do everything I can to save it. And so essentially the movie is about Jean Grey taking over people and causing a lot of mass murder, for one. She's just out here sliming people out, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. Like, whatever. But it's about Spider-Man going through changes. Like, his spider hormones, which is something I've never really necessarily experienced, comic book-wise. I'm sure there might be some out there, but I haven't read them personally. But he's experiencing a change. Like, he's going through this because he's just stressed out. He doesn't have like a way to really vent what he's going through because he doesn't have people in his life to talk to. Like, he's living alone. He's, you know what I'm saying, making sure no one really sees him. Like, he's kind of creeping around MJ and Ned because he's wanting to make sure that he's protecting them. But the whole thing is that, like, he hasn't told MJ like he said he was going to. He didn't go and tell her, hey, like, it's me, Peter. Now, what's really messed up about it is that there's a scene where Jean Grey takes over MJ's mind. And she's, she makes him believe that she remembers him. And, we're all kind of sitting there like, hold up a second. But then, but see, the thing is, in my head, I'm sitting here like, that's not her. Like, it's not that simple, bro. They kiss and now they know it. Nah, bro. So we get into that. Well, she's sitting here and she's talking. She's like, oh, so it was really you. Da 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 da. And he's like believing it. Like Peter's sitting there like, oh my god, like holding her. Like, I'm so glad. Like, I wanted to tell you. Da 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 da. And then she pulls away from him. And you just kind of see it on her face. Like, she just kind of like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, uh-oh, it's about to happen. And she looked him dead in his face and goes, you really thought it was that easy? True love's kiss unbroke the spell? He said, come on, Peter, you goofy, corny. This ain't no Disney movie. I'm a real deal villain. I don't give a about none of y'all. She goes, there ain't nothing about you up in this head. I'm like, damn. Like, she was really laying into Peter. Dude, he's getting pissed off. He's starting to change. Like, so when he goes through this in specific change, his eyes will turn black, which makes sense because spiders, have the same kind of, their eyes look exactly how his did when he was when the spider hormones would take over, he would become a whole lot more violent and more like instinctual, to where he's just kind of like reacting to stuff opposed to responding to things like how he normally would. And so she's like about to like tip off the building that they're on. She's trying to like the gene's like making her throw herself off the building to try to kill MJ. And so she's sitting here just talking crap to him, like you really thought that that was really her, like you really believe that she remembers you, blah, blah, blah. Which is fair because it's a spell by Doctor Strange. Okay, technically speaking, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore because he gave it over to what is his name, Wong, something like that, something along those lines. He gives it to the dude that he was friends with in the Doctor Strange movie, the first one. Well, I guess technically all of them, but he ends up becoming the Sorcerer Supreme because Strange disappears for a while. But I digress because that's not important. So MJ's falling off the building. He catches her. He's freaking out like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're okay. Da, 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 da. And, so that dynamic was really cool. Like seeing Jean like be a villain in the sense to where she was more sadistic with it. And she wasn't just like, I am the Dark Phoenix, hear me roar. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was more it they did her little mini villain arc really well. Like they did really well with how they scripted her. Like I'm not mad at her character. I'm just glad that at the end she stopped being a villain because I'm so sick of that trope. Like I don't care about Jean Grey being a villain. Like we get it, bro. You're super powerful. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Get over it, bro. You over here mad at dumb, like just dumb shit. Which I mean, your sister getting murdered isn't like stupid. I'm not discrediting her for that, but it's like you gonna slime the world out for that over that? Come on, bro. Like lock in, dude. You could do so much better with your powers, opposed to sitting here just being a weirdo and wanting to kill everybody. Like that's corny, bro. Anyways, that don't matter. So another really good thing, I'm just kind of bouncing all over the place because I don't want to just give the entire lore of the movie to where it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, screw the movie. I'm not gonna do that because I'm just more so touching on the parts that I really enjoyed in the movie. His suit was phenomenal. Finally, we have gotten like an actual Spider-Man suit. No more of this. Like, listen, the Sam Raimi suit was really good. So Tobey's suit was really good. The regular and the black version were phenomenal suits. The Amazing Spider-Man suit, the very first one, I thought was pretty good. I didn't hate it, but his second suit was kind of better. But like it was close to being the original Spider-Man suit, but it obviously had like like it was different in a way. This suit though was like literally straight from the comic books, bro. Like we were getting to see like classic like Spider-Man suit. And I was very happy about that suit. And Tom did so well at portraying Spider-Man in that movie that I just fell in love with it. I was like, yeah, this is art. This is fine. Like, finally, we've got Spider-Man on the screen. Like, it was so you could tell just by the cinematography how like you could see where the inspiration was coming from. You could see like there's this scene in the movie where he's fighting the Hand near the end of the movie, and they're throwing a bunch of like ninja stars at him, and they have this like Matrix moment where he's like sitting here like weaving all of the ninja stars, and immediately what it gave to me, what I thought was of Tobey's moment when he's fighting the Green Goblin, and Green Goblin's just sitting there, just like yamming them goblin bombs, right? And Tobey's just sitting here, just like dodging them. He's dodging like the blades that are getting thrown at him, and it's all in like this. How they did it was almost bar for bar how Tobey did it. So you see the inspiration from Tobey, and then you see the inspiration from Andrew because of the banter and how he was moving. And then cinematically, when you're watching it, you can see that there's a lot of inspiration from the Insomniac game. Like you could trying to figure out a way to actually say this. Every scene was like you could see every scene that Peter was in, that Spider-Man was in, you could see where they were pulling inspiration from. Like there were so many moments where I was like, I remember that comic. Like it was like straight out of a panel almost. Like, and the dynamic that he had with Frank was so fire, bro. Was so fire. Like getting to see Punisher, because I've always, like, in the comic books, the Punisher and Spider-Man are such a good duo because they're like polar opposites of one another. And they both kind of like are checks and balances for each other in terms of like you've got Spider-Man being like, look, Frank, you can't just up pole on everybody and just kill anybody that you just don't mess with. And you've got Frank like, listen, bro, you gotta like sometimes people need to die, bro. And I understand why that's like taxing to Peter, because it's like, you know, I understand why he's like, no, that's not how that's not how this works, bro. And I'm cool with that. That's understandable because he's a hero. But it makes him think a lot of the times to where he's like, maybe Frank's right. Like maybe I do need to take things a little bit more seriously because people are at risk because of it. And it's like the way that they kind of like the banter between them, how they were working with each other, like it was fleshed out so wonderfully because it's like they never stopped being who they were. Like it wasn't like, oh well, he's acting different because he's around Spider-Man, or Spider-Man's acting more violent because he's around Frank. Like no, they stayed true to who it was that they were wholeheartedly. And I really loved that. Like I think that was a wonderful dynamic that they set up to be to where it was like almost like a brotherhood. Like the fact that he brought MJ to Frank and was like, listen, bro, I need you to like protect her. Like I have no one else to go to, bro, and like you're someone I trust. And it's like Frank doesn't know Peter. He doesn't know nobody knows who Peter is. They completely wiped him off the face of the earth. Like he doesn't exist, essentially. In people's minds, he doesn't exist. And for him and Frank to have that like dynamic, like they kept bringing up the Staten Island thing when Peter had saved Frank. And it was just funny to see that dynamic. He was like, bro, you just keep bringing that up. Like, am I ever going to be able to live that down? Like, we get it. You saved my... And there was this scene when they're at Frank's, like base. And he's sitting here as like, what? Like, Peter was like, what? Saving your life isn't enough to act. He's like, what? I got to save your life twice before I can call in a favor? And it was just like, listening to them go back and forth was hilarious, bro. And like even the little moments between MJ and Frank was so funny. Like I'll be honest, I think the Punisher was like a really big high in that movie. Like I think that he was a really like, not that the movie necessarily needed him. I feel like it would have been just fine if it was just Spider-Man, but getting to see him, bro. Just watching the dynamic between the two of them was just so funny, and it was like warming in a sense because it's like, yo, Peter's only friend right now is the Punisher, and it's like what a guy to be friends with because Frank is a psychopath. Like, don't get it twisted. He's messed up in the noggin. Like he ain't all there. You see, like the cheese been off his cracker. It's been off. Like that shit slid off forever ago. Like he messed up. He messed up in the head. And it was just so great to see those two just like vibe with one another. It was like a real life like they were like brothers almost. And another big thing, a lot of people were complaining about it. I had seen that there wasn't like enough Hulk in the movie. Like, bro, this isn't the Incredible Hulk and his friend Spider-Man. This is a Spider-Man movie. What are we complaining about? Like, actually, like people just be mad over dumb stuff. Like, bro, who cares? Genuinely, who cares? But the scenes that Hulk was in, I thought were great. I didn't at first when they had like the like smart Hulk. I'm not gonna lie, that did piss me off when I saw that. I was like, bro, not this one again, bro, please. I ain't got no beef with Mark Ruffalo, but once again, I'm not blaming the actor. I'm blaming the writer because they messed up his character so bad, bro. Like, his character was so crap. You know, when I saw the Hulk, I can't remember which Avengers movie it is. It might have been Endgame. Oh, I can't remember which one it is. But when I saw the Hulk be scared to come out to fight Thanos, that actually, like, it genuinely pissed me off. The Hulk don't run from no fade, okay? First of all, that's what he live and breathe for, is the fade, okay? That's his character, is I'm the strongest, you don't agree, put your hands up and let's find out. He said, oh, you want to squabble, nigga? I'm here, right here, every time. Never once is the Hulk like, nah, bro, come on, dude. Lame. Why was Bruce Banner ever in a Hulkbuster suit? Are we being serious? No. Die. Trash. I'd rather nigga just not be on in the movie at all. Like, at that point, you're putting him in an Iron Man suit. Okay. So now the Hulk's a bitch. When did I miss the memo? I need you to show me the panels where he's like that. Hulk's been beat by Thanos before, okay? You want to know what Hulk did when he got beat by Thanos? He came back for another fade. He said, oh, you think I'm not getting my ones back? You got me. Oh, he came back and for another fade. He does not run from fades. He does not run from fades, ever. Ever. Now, I'm going to say this. Somebody's going to pull up with a comment, be like, well, actually, here's exhibit A, B, and C, where Hulk did in fact run from a fade. I'm not hearing that shit, bro. We're talking about regular Hulk on average is never running from a fade. Like, that's literally, it's Bruce who run from fades. See that gnat? Just one random gnat. He wanted to be part of the video, bro. Got his 5 seconds of fame. Like, am I tripping, bro? Only gnat I've seen. That kind of fucked me up a little bit. Anyways, push comes to shove. Hulk ends up getting mind controlled by Jean. But she's got like him. She's got Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk, so she's mind controlling that variant of the Hulk. Well, obviously she's not strong enough to actually genuinely control the Hulk. We find that out. For the first time so far, we got an accurate and beautiful Hulk transformation. When Banner was sitting there and he was like, bro, I cannot hold, it was like violent. Because that's the thing. The Hulk transformation for me has never been something that's just like, you just get big and that's it. It's always been something to me that just seemed like real painful. Like, there's a reason why Bruce tries to keep it under wraps. Because he doesn't want to go through the transformation, nor does he want the Hulk to just rampage and hurt somebody. Well, we get this scene where he finally turns into the Hulk. And I'm saying the Hulk, not Bruce Hulk, the Hulk. Because at that point, bro, if you're going to keep making it to where we have like a smart Hulk, just put Minestro on the stream already, or Maestro, or whatever the variant of that Hulk was, where he was like the last one, and he killed all the Avengers, and he's like sitting on the throne, and got like all the different, like, he's got like Iron Man's like head right here, he's got like, you know, it was like a bunch of cool stuff, like got Cap's shield, like they, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm gonna be honest, like I think that would be really cool. But anyways, we get a scene where he actually transforms into the Hulk, and I'm not talking like that Hulk that they had in the first Avengers movie. I'm talking about like real deal, like 2008-esque Hulk, where he gets like super big and like mad tall. Like he's like way taller than the regular Hulk that you see in the Avengers movies. And I thought that was a really big high for me. I thought that was super awesome. Because I was like, yo, this is actually goated right here. Because you have, like, we're finally getting, like, the Hulk. Not like Mark Ruffalo's version. We're talking about, like, the Hulk. And even Peter, he was like, I did not know that you could get that big. Pause. Pause that. Pause that. Holy crap. That sounded wicked, didn't it? Anyways, He's sitting there like, dude, I literally like, because I mean, he's like massive, bro. Eventually, I'll get so good at editing and everything, we'll just like be able to put like a picture of the Hulk. But like, go and look it up, or go watch the movie. That's what I really recommend. First of all, rating on the movie 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, no lower. I don't think it deserves any lower than that. Like no 8.5, no 7, no 6, no 5, none of that. None of that at all. It's a 9. It's a 9. It's a great movie. Phenomenal watch. I loved every second of it. There was not a point in time watching the movie where I was like, this shit corny, bro. You get that with a lot of Marvel movies. They got the moments where it's just like gross. Like, shoot me. Like, it's some of it's just so bad. Some of it is so bad, bro. But the biggest parts that I think were that were good for me is that moment with the Hulk. He's sitting here, and like the Hulk's got Peter pinned down, like he about to fuck him up. Pause, bro. Whoa. I'm on a different timing today. I gotta go to sleep, bro. Holy crap, what is wrong with me? Anyways, he's like sitting here, and he's got his whole hand on his face, which is like the size of Peter's body, basically. Like I said, the Hulk, like, hulked completely out. And Peter's like, Bruce, it's me. I'm your friend. And you can see that Bruce isn't really there. But you can see that Hulk, something kinetically in the comics, Hulk never forgets. Because this is a comic variant. Like, this exact thing has happened in the comics where everybody forgets about Peter. Except it was a different deal. He actually did the deal with Mephisto. There's been a bunch of times where everybody's forgotten about Peter. But anyways, he ends up, because the thing is, in the comic books, there's a scene similar to that where the Hulk is doing that, and he remembers Spider-Man. He's like, the Hulk. He's like, Hulk never forgets a friend, and like that's a really touching moment. Something very similar happened to where you could see it in the Hulk's eyes. He was just like kind of like registering. He was like, hold up, you're right. So he stops. Now we could have said it was Banner who did it, but it's like Banner doesn't like that variant does not know Peter, and he doesn't really know Spider-Man. Like, yeah, he's heard of him. They work together in the Avengers, but like he's not cool with the nigga. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not like homies. So it's like that was like a prelude to like the relationship that Hulk and Spider-Man have in the actual comics, and I thought that was really amazing. So that was another really big like moment for me. It wasn't a giant scene. It wasn't a very long scene. But it was a great scene in my opinion. And so that was another really good dynamic. We're already at 52 minutes. I'm going to try to wrap it up here. I've just been kind of like yapping. None of this, it doesn't seem like it's formulated or in a structure, but just bear with me, okay? Another really good thing, big spoiler right here. Okay, so at the ending of the movie, Jean's trying to kill the people who killed her sister. I'm not going to give too many details, but Frank so this thing happens where she cast out her mind and like is frozen everybody in like a giant, like a couple kilometer radius. And I'm talking like these people are like frozen, and she has the ability to just kill all of them if she wants to. Well, Peter comes in and he's talking to her. He's like, listen, I'm sorry that I gave you to these people. I ended up turning you into the people who killed your sister. Like, I'm sorry about that. And so he's walking up to her, and she hasn't been able to enter Spider-Man's mind because of his spider sense. Like it's an active combatant against like telepathic attacks, and this is canonical. Like this is like real work here. And so she walks up to him and she's like, "Don't be so sure that I can't enter your mind. I've gotten a lot stronger than the last time that I tried." And Peter looks at her and he goes, "Do it," and allows her into his mindscape. And that's when they teleport to the scene of Aunt May and Peter sitting on his bed. Well, as they're going through it, you see Aunt May talking, and it pans the camera over to where it's showing Jean. So Aunt May's talking to Jean, saying everything she was saying to Peter, but saying it to her. And it's like they have this little scene where they hug, and then Peter walks in, and May's gone. And he's sitting there talking to her. He's like, We've all lost people that matter to us. And Jean was like, yeah, but I don't have anybody. And he goes, but you have me. And bro, I was in that bitch tearing up, bro. I was like, yo, this is, I didn't explain it well for you to be like, yeah, that's emotionally strong. Yeah, bite me, okay? But like, I'm not trying to overdo it, because like, I don't want to completely ruin the movie. Well, Frank is on top of a building right now with a sniper rifle. Because like I said, it's Frank. He's ready to slime her out. He's like, I ain't playing no games. He said, I'm going to do it my way. We're putting a bullet through her. She ain't gonna be doing much evil after this, because I'm about to put the round through her. Okay. I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it. But how do you know you shoot her and not all these people she got possessed die? Like, you don't know that, Frank. You just too quick to up-pull and want to slime somebody out. Like, chill out, bro. Frank is a YN. I don't want anybody to get it twisted. You know, say what you want to. He's a YN. He's ready to up switch on anybody. It does not matter. He don't mess with you, cool. Solving the problem. But Spider-Man don't work like that. Because Spider-Man a great guy, okay? Well, Frank lining up that shot, and he's taking the shot. Peter, being the man he does, for some reason can see while they're trapped inside of her mind doing this like telepathy thing. He sees the fact that a bullet's about to come through the window and shoot her. Because the spider sense is just busted, bro. It's just a cracked ability, okay? And Peter takes her and spins the block. Okay? By spin the block, I mean he turns around and just gets railed by that bullet. No pause, resume. That bullet pushed through him, bro. Okay? And they snap out of it. That was probably really loud on the mic. They snap out of it. And he's like, don't worry, bro. I'm cool. And I'm sitting here in the movie, loud as fuck. Like, Peter, you're not cool, bro. Like, shit's not kosher right now, bro. You're cooked. He done hit you with the biggest caliber bullet he could find. When did you get time to go back and find this gun in the first place? It's because he just keeps it with him. What am I talking about? Anyways, well, Frank starts freaking out. He's like, oh, whoops. So he goes down there and picks him up. And when I tell you I was stressed out, bro, because listen, like I said, bro, I've read a lot of comics, okay? I see the scene of Punisher holding Peter and going into the hospital, and I'm like, oh, he's cooked. I was sitting there in the movie verbatim, like, please don't start Secret Wars like this. Because there's been variants where they start off with Spider-Man's death. Like, that's something that tips into this kind of stuff. And I was stressing out, bro. I was stressing out, dude. I was like, please don't do this. I'm saying, like, Spider-Man's cooked. Like, that's it. GG's, bro. You finally become the Spider-Man I need you to be, and they kill you. But thankfully, the next scene was him in the hospital. Jean Grey, because see, this is how I knew he wasn't gonna die. Because she's sitting there next to him, and she's like, just look at me. And he looks at her, and you kind of see like her powers start activating. So Jean Grey, because she's a real nigga in this shit, okay, is using her telepathy to keep his organs alive and keep him alive for however long he was in the hospital. I can't remember. It might be like a month or so. Mind you, Frank has been there the whole time. And when I tell you this movie is funny, as depressing as it is in a lot of senses, it is so hilarious, bro. It's so funny. It is so good. And that scene where he's sitting there and he's like relieved that Peter wakes up. And they have their little banter, bro. It was another little funny moment. Like, I will say wholeheartedly, I know this video was really choppy probably, and that I was all over the place, but I'm doing this because, like, I just want to interact with the community because I love you guys. You feel me? And I want to vibe with the homies. To anybody who watches this, you know what I'm saying? So the thing with it is that this movie was executed phenomenally in every word of every way that I could think of. It was done correctly. Now, I haven't seen it twice. Most of the time when you see something again, you can you nitpick it a little bit more. But when I tell you that this movie was really good, bro, like they did so good with this movie. Like, I mean, I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. And so, they do the little thing. Now, I'm gonna tell you my second biggest problem with the movie. And I get it, they homies, so I understand. But the second biggest problem for me was at the end of the movie, he walks up to Ned. They're like in a coffee shop or something. He walks up to Ned because halfway through the movie, MJ ends up finding the letter that Peter intended to read to her when he was going to go tell her that he was Peter and that he was Spider-Man. And they have this little banter, bro, and she's like, yo, I'm sure that this girl, I see why she would love you, talking about herself prior, but she's like, I have no memories of you and I don't love you. That shit hurt me. She leaves and then comes back and is like, yo, but I need a ride home, low key. And I was like, that is so real. That's such real life. That's so real life right there. Because I'm not gonna say everybody's been through it, but a lot of guys have been through that kind of in that exact thing. Like you guys go through a breakup or whatever, and you got to take her home because she can't get home. You know what I'm saying? Now you're just sitting there on a car ride. Now imagine you're holding on to the woman that you just did this. Just yeah, rough, bro, rough. But she warms up. She's like, "Do you want to come inside?" Da 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 da. And they come inside and they're chilling. Nonetheless, see it for yourself because it's great to watch that, to witness that. I'm not going to try to get too super deep into it because I don't want to ruin all the parts of it. I've given a lot of really big spoilers in this video. But nonetheless, I recommend if you guys have the time, if you guys got the bread, go and watch it. Take a homie, go by yourself, take your girlfriend, it don't matter. Go and see this movie because it is peak, bro. It is peak. I did not like the end credit cutscene. Um, I understand why they did it because Secret Wars does take a lot of time and place and space because of Battle World and like all the rest of that stuff. Like I understand what the end credit scene was. I just don't like the way they did it. Nonetheless, I won't talk about that. But I will say that this movie is by far a 9 out of 10. I could give it higher, but I'm trying to be like modest about it. Me, my personal view, 9.5, 10 out of 10 easy. Being realistic about it, because I'm sure there are problems that I might not have noticed right off the bat, it's a 9 out of 10 easy. But I don't think it deserves to go anything below that. You feel me? So, yes, this is the end of the video. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Look out for more videos on my channel. I'll be starting a series called Fraud Watch. I might make one of those videos today. I will definitely make it. If I don't do one today, I'll definitely make one my next day off because I'm working 6 days this week. So today's my only day off, and then I go right back to work. I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I have Monday and Tuesday off. I took those 2 days off. I didn't work. I didn't choose to work overtime on those days because I wanted to stream and make a couple of YouTube videos. But yeah, like I said, this is gonna be raw, unedited footage. This is just me sitting in front of the camera, yapping, making sure the mic works, making sure everything like you feel me is orchestrated and does well. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I love you guys. The Lord love you more. I'm gonna end this video with a prayer. I probably end most of my videos with a prayer. As hey, bro, I'm not trying to make it about religion. I ain't trying to convert people. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord saved my life. He gave me the will and the ability to get out here and do this, to pursue my dreams and stuff. So, I'm gonna give him a shout out because he deserved it. But anyways, I'm gonna say a quick little prayer. I ain't gonna go get too like reverent in it. You know what I'm saying? But just a quick little prayer for all y'all. So, Heavenly Father, I'd like to just give you thanks for the fact that I was even able to make this video. Thank you for putting it on my mind to just sit here and do it, to just get in front of the camera and do what I've always wanted to do with my life, Lord. I give glory to you for everything it is I have in this life. I thank you for everything it is. And I thank you for these people on the other side of the screen, Lord. I pray that they prosper, Lord. I pray that you move your way into their life if they do have you in their life. If not, I pray they get to the point to where maybe they could kind of, you know what I'm saying, see what you're working with. And I just want to give thanks to you. I ask that if any of these people on the other side of the screen need healing, whether it be emotional, physically, mentally, spiritually, I just pray for prosperity for the other people on the other side of this screen. I pray that they enjoy this video, Lord, and you know, I just ask that you watch over all the homies, the ones I know, the ones I don't know, all my viewers, my subscribers. I just want to give thanks to you, God, for the fact that they would even subscribe to me in the first place. And in your mighty name I pray. Amen. So that's the end of this one. I love you guys. The Lord love you more. And that's Novunky out.